Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about how to properly do a monster walk. So a monster walk is an awesome exercise for glute med activity. So our glute meds are right in this area here, and they have two main functions. One is to abduct or lift the leg away from the body if it's in what's called an open chain, so my foot's not planted on the floor. But the other really important function of glute med is when it's in a weight-bearing position, or closed chain we call it, it actually helps to stabilize the pelvis. So it makes sure that when I'm standing on this leg, that my pelvis doesn't drop down to the side and this leg doesn't stick out. So my glute med activates to pull my pelvis up so it stays nice and level. And this is super important for anything that's going to be a single leg activity. So things like running, dancing, anything where you're standing on one leg, being able to support and stabilize that pelvis, that's a lot of glute med activity. So monster walk is an awesome way to strengthen this muscle, but there is a right and a wrong way to do it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a tied TheraBand, and I'm actually gonna have you put it around your feet. You can bring it up around the ankles. You can also bring it up around the knees. The higher up that the band is, the easier the exercise will be. So to really get glute med, we are gonna go down around those feet, okay? Now traditionally, when you watch people in the gym do a monster walk, we see a whole lot of this. So a lot of side bending, a lot of excessive pelvic movement, a lot of leaning, and sometimes going too fast. What we're gonna do is we're gonna slow that movement down, and we're really gonna focus and hone in on that moment of single leg stance. And that's what's really gonna get that glute med to fire up. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make sure that my core is nice and engaged. I'm in a little bit of a mini squat here. I'm gonna step to the side without leaning my trunk. So this is gonna stay nice and upright. I'm gonna step to the side. Now, this moment where I pick this other leg up, instead of just letting the band pull me in, I'm gonna kind of pause there. I'm gonna step, I'm gonna pause in single leg stance, and then put my foot down. Step, pause, put my foot down. So on this weight-bearing leg, when I step, I'm getting glute med activity because I'm abducting away from my body. Then I'm also getting that moment of single leg stance where now glute med is having to stabilize my pelvis. It's gonna flare that muscle up so much more than just letting this other leg fly back in via the band. So it's a nice slow and controlled movement. As I'm doing this, I really wanna make sure that my leg, my femur is staying in more of an upright position. My knee is not tipping in. So if you look at your kneecap, it should be over the center of your foot pretty much through the entire exercise. So we don't wanna see that happening. We also don't want to see the hip dropping. So everything is kind of staying in a nice alignment, and that's being very much so controlled by glute med. So give that little modification a try, and hopefully you'll really start to feel the burn in those glutes.